welcome to the Mental Margarita Show. I have Mona Lisa Young from A Beauty by Design Academy. How are you, Mona Lisa?
I'm doing well. And thank you, Rebecca, for having me on. I appreciate it.
We're really excited to have you. You do some wonderful things in Las Vegas, permanent makeup, all kinds of things, medical aesthetics. You do scar repair. You do the micropigmentation. There's just all kinds of things. We're going to talk about everything that you do. You also teach, so you also train people to do this. But first, we'll go way back to the beginning. Where were you born and raised? So before the permanent makeup days, how did it all begin? So where are you from, Mona Lisa?
Okay, so I'm not a native of Las Vegas. I was born in Ohio. Military transferred us to California when I was 4 years old. So I grew up in California. And then in 1999, moved over to Las Vegas. Never thought I'd move here, but it was exciting moving here, and I love Las Vegas. Every time I'd go out of Vegas and come back, I would see all these buildings, these tall, beautiful buildings, and I was just like, I actually live here. I can't believe I live here, but I'm happy to be here. I love Las Vegas.
And I'm so glad that you said that. We do too. And what a great city we have that we live in, and shows the resilience and longevity and the growth that we're seeing right now. Vegas is popping.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
There's so many wonderful things happening and coming. We're a major sports town now. There's so many great things that are contributing to our growth, and it's great. And we're so glad that you have a business here, because
I'm glad I do too.
You provide such a wonderful service. And what got you inspired to go into the permanent makeup business? Were you always into art, or was that something you always wanted to do? How did that come?
I was in the corporate world. I moved here in 99, and I was in the corporate world for over 20 years. And my son got married. My youngest son got married, and her family is from Brazil. And they had a huge permanent makeup business in Brazil. And when they came to visit, they told me about it. And I thought to myself, I could do that. I could actually do that. I love aesthetics. I love art. I could actually do that. That would work for me. And I would have time with my kids and make my own time instead of being in the corporate world, because it was long hours, and you have to be there. And it's not always easy to get away. So it took me 2 years. I supported my business. And in 2 years, I was able to get out of the corporate world and into the permanent makeup and paramedical aesthetics.
That's great. And you know what, folks, we like to tell the audience, it's never too late to reinvent yourself. It's never too late to try something different, because you know what? We only have one life to live. So we need to do it, follow our passions and our dreams and what makes us happy. And it's really clear that this makes you happy to do this work. And what a great job you do as well, because we're going to be meeting some of your clients and getting to hear a story or two from them about their experience.
My name's Casey, and I found A Beauty by Design researching on Google microblading and permanent makeup. I started reading the reviews for this place, and I really, really liked it. And I saw the before and after pictures, and I was like, oh my God, I have to go there. I got my eyebrows microbladed, and I only did the first session of it, but then she's going to go back and she's going to put the hair strokes in my eyes. I definitely can't draw my own eyebrows on, and I tried everything. I tried the temporary tattoo eyebrows. I tried the stamp eyebrows. I tried everything. It's a lot nicer to wake up in the morning and not have to draw on eyebrows that I can never get straight. I feel prettier. And she really took her time and made sure that I liked them a lot.
We'll start with the permanent makeup. I've seen lots of different things. Now we're gonna see some pictures of some great work that you've done, and you've also fixed some bad botched jobs that came through. So, folks, there's hope. If you went to someone and you weren't completely happy, you can come see Mona Lisa, and she can fix it for you.
Absolutely.
So, explain the process. of how what products you use, because people want to know what it is permanent. This is why you want to go to a trained professional, a licensed professional that knows what they're doing. So explain for us like the products, like what goes in your body, what can we expect?
Well, the process is you either have stretch marks, scars, permanent makeup, but we'll start with permanent makeup. Most people come in and they want eyebrows or a lip micropigmentation or eyeliner. And they come in for numerous reasons. It might be that they can't put on their makeup anymore. Their hands are shaky. They can't get their brows right, or they might have missing hair on their brows, or their lip line has vanished and their lip color is vanished. And to save more time in their life, because sometimes it takes hours to put on makeup to get it right. So a lot of times they want to save time. And of course, they'll save money in the long run. Well, they just get up, made up. Sometimes we have full face makeovers. They'll come in, they'll want brows and eyeliner and lips, and they may do some aesthetic work with us because we've recently added aesthetics, different lasers and so forth for anti-aging and skin tightening. However, the process is they'll come in for a consultation, and we may design their brows for them. We use topical numbing cream, so it's virtually painless procedures. And they'll either do it that day or they'll set up a day. And we do the procedure, the first time procedure, and then there's a touch-up, because a lot of times when the pigment goes into skin, it's different from tattooing. Tattooing's pretty deep, and permanent makeup is in the upper layer of the skin. So it'll fade because the skin turns over about every 28 days, so it will fade out. So they have to come back for a touch-up or a refreshing of it in about 4 to 6 weeks. And after 4 to 6 weeks, then it's good for a year, 2 years, but they normally come back to get like a color boost or a refreshing of the permanent makeup, whether it's brows, eyeliner, or lips, or beauty marks. It could be freckles. It could be, there's different, everything's starting to expand and be more varied in style and so forth. Even brows change from styles, from the pencil point brows to bold brows. So they can change styles because it does fade out over time. So they come back and have a different style of brow if they want in a couple of years.
Folks, Mona Lisa has services for men and women. So this isn't just for the gals, this is for the guys too. So let's talk about that, because I saw a lot of work that you did with hair, with the appearance of hairlines.
Yeah, that's correct. People get very conscientious if they are insecure, if they lose hair, their hair starts being sparse. And so we have micropigmentation for hair. It's under paramedical micropigmentation or paramedical tattooing, or it's called SMP, scalp micropigmentation. And so we create fine hair follicles through the hair. Could be through the hair if their hair is sparse, or if they're completely bald, it can be the whole head of hair, and it'll look like a 5 o'clock shadow, but it's small hair follicle pigments implanted to look like a 5 o'clock shadow. So a lot of times if you're looking at somebody, you'll just think that they've shaved their hair really close, but it's probably micropigmentation that's been done. But that's done for men and women. Women bald in different areas than men do, but it works for both. It's really nice, and they feel really secure about it, and they gain confidence in having that procedure done.
Another service that you have for men and women is those that have recovered from breast cancer and things where they've had parts of them removed and reconstructive surgery. Things such as the areola don't always get replaced.
Right.
It can leave someone feeling not completely happy with their appearance, and they just, they just may affect them any certain kind of way, men or women.
Right.
So we're
That's
going to meet a client that had the areola restoration. So since you're a teacher and you teach others to do these procedures, so there's a process of how that's done. Can you explain how the areola restoration's done?
when they come in for a consultation, are you talking about the academy part or the procedure part on a client?
First, we'll start with the procedure. And when a client comes in, because I want the audience to understand the process, of course, because sometimes this isn't always easy to talk about, and maybe they just don't know where to turn if someone doesn't know that you offer this service. So we'll start with the client standpoint, and then when it comes to teaching, I know that there's a process that you use for that. So
Okay. Most clients that have come in, they haven't heard of areola restoration. It's been around for a few years. It's been around for a few years, but not everybody has heard of it. So either their oncologist has told them about it, or they've done some research on Google and they find us. But once they know, they're very happy to find us. So when they come in, there's a consultation we do. And if they have pictures of what they've had before their operations, that's helpful, but it really doesn't matter. They don't have to have it. They can pick out whatever areola nipple they want, and we can design it for them. But they come in, they have a consultation, and then either we set up the appointment. We can actually do it. We always leave time in that appointment to do the procedure, or they can make an appointment for a later date. And when they come back, we normally do a topical anesthesia, and then we do the mapping and measuring, and then we match the pigment color to their desire, and then we start the procedure. And once the procedure's done, they come back in about 6 to 8 weeks for follow-up for any fading, and usually it's mostly all there. I just had a client that went back to her oncologist, and she said he said he didn't really even notice. It's like he always thought it's like it was normal. It was just there, She had it the micropigmentation done, and he's just like, oh wow, I just realized that you had areolas, And so it was funny. She was laughing about it. You'll probably see her on the film because she was talking about it. But it was funny. But that's basically the process for it.
And it's great, and I'm excited the audience gets to hear her story because she talks about how we feel and how she felt about herself, and then how she felt after she had the procedure done, and you can just see it on her face.
Getting them back to normalcy, I guess, as a part of the recovery process for them to be normal and confident and better about themselves. It's really nice to have that treatment. Very rewarding to see them, how they feel afterwards also.
So I was diagnosed with breast cancer in September of 2022. And in 2023, I had a double mastectomy. And at the same time, I also had reconstruction surgery. After several months of healing, I went back to have my implants put in. And that's when I was told by the surgeon that unfortunately I was not able to keep my own areola, so he recommended tattooing. I found a Beauty by Design, and I called, had a consultation with Mona Lisa herself, and that's how it got started. I would absolutely recommend this service to anyone who is feeling disfigured for whatever reason that may be, whether it's through cancer or some other thing that may have happened to them in their life. A lot of times we don't think of ourselves as being overly concerned about the way we look, but there are times where it can really affect the way that you feel about yourself when you don't feel like you look like yourself. And this is what the areola restoration did for me. It helped me to start feeling like myself again, and that was important, especially for the healing process. Cancer is such a journey, and you're constantly looking for ways to feel normal and to get back some of that normalcy. There are months involved in the healing process, and in that process, you are left physically deformed, and with that comes a lot of emotions, both mentally and physically, just adjusting to the way that you look. It's not very normal, so that is a process and it is a long journey. Discovering that this service is available is life-changing for me, and it helped me regain some normalcy, and that is a step in recovery and moving forward.
You set up your practice. You've been doing this for quite a while. And the academy side, so you teach all of the services that you provide. Is that correct?
We do.
And when did you start the teaching? When did you start the teaching part?
About, I want to say about 7 years ago, we started it. When I first got into the permanent makeup, I went to Nouveau Contour USA, which is out of Orlando. They're like world renowned in about 30 plus countries. They're masters in micropigmentation. So once I did that training, I came out and I decided, okay, I'm going to open up a little place, which of course you heard that I had to support it for a couple of years, working in the corporate world to open it up. And so the minute I opened it up, I realized that there were people that needed to learn exactly what I was doing, because it was needed. It was just neat. Everybody has scars. It seems like almost everybody has scars. Almost everybody has stretch marks, or they have some type of aesthetic that they want done. So I started teaching then, and started teaching the permanent makeup, and then it led into the micropigmentation for scars and stretch marks, and the SMP and the areola restoration. So it's just expanding. This type of work is always evolving, because when I first got into the permanent makeup, there wasn't very much of the scars, areola, and the scalp micropigmentation. Now has grown, and it keeps evolving, which I'm glad that I'm in, because I love technology, the new techniques and the new machines and the new pigments and everything that goes along with this part of the beauty industry.
And this is great because you're giving people an opportunity to be able to have a trade and be able to have a business for themselves and be able to support themselves. And working this kind of work gives you a lot of flexibility with your schedule and being able to work on your time and what you need. And so how long, because on your website, and folks, we're gonna make sure everybody has the website information. They're gonna see pictures. There's tons of pictures on the site, everybody. There's so much for you to see about each of these procedures in detail, up close, so people have a pure idea of that. Even everything about the classes are on there as well. So typically, if let's say someone just wanted to start with permanent makeup, how long do they go through the training before they would be ready to go out on their own? What's about the usual time?
I want to say that if they start with permanent makeup, any one class is probably the basics of learning it. It's about 20-30 hours. It doesn't take much, because we have the very simple techniques to learn. After that, they shadow and assist. There's a 6-month apprenticeship that the Southern Nevada Health District requires with a permitted licensed business like us. And so they stay on with us for 6 months. We have custom hours, so they can work around their work schedule. We're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So they can come in, they can put in 2 hours here, an hour there, 3 hours here, and get it done. So we're very flexible, because there's so many people wanting to transition into this type of work. So we made it very flexible, because I know what it took to get started. And I needed flexibility, but I didn't have it. So now I created it for everybody else. But they come in, and then there's a learn and earn program. As they are doing their apprenticeship, they can bring in models, or we have models. They can start working on them. And then they can start making a little bit of money here and there during the apprenticeship. And then they're ready to go after 6 months of apprenticeship, which we don't require a lot of hours in the apprenticeship over the whole time, maybe 120 hours, but they learn it, and they learn it well.
And we'll see some of them at work too, as well, while we're telling this story.
Yeah. We'll see their practice work and some of their work. They are really good when they finish with us. So they have the confidence they need in order to do great work, superb work.
So moving back towards clients, is there a particular case that was challenging that someone that you helped, that we were able to help, that maybe you can tell us about? Now, you did tell me a story, because I want folks to know this is for all ages. So you had told me, can you tell us again about the young man that you did the scar, you fixed his scar, and what the difference it made for him as a young boy?
Although the boy that had the scar on his forehead, he was young, and he had, I guess, give somebody a piggyback ride, and he fell with the child on his back and hit the ground, and it made a scar on his forehead, and he was very conscientious of it. They're from California, family from California. They're really conscientious of it. So they contacted me. He came in, and we treated that scar, and we really can't even see it there in his forehead anymore. So it just made his life a lot easier being a kid, because kids are conscientious as it is.
Right.
There are many that have come in that had scars that it really, really bothers them, makes them insecure, makes them cover up, or makes their whole lifestyle different than how they would normally live it, probably growing hair or covering up or whatever they do, or putting makeup on it to cover it. So they have to live a different lifestyle when they're very conscientious of the scar. I mean, sometimes we don't even notice those scars on people, but they do. It bothers them. So that's what we're here for, to help them gain their confidence back and feel more secure with whatever face or body aesthetics it's for them. And somebody can ask if they can be a model, and that's all right.
Okay. Well, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate that. And I'm sure they will too.
Definitely. Well, we've enjoyed having you on. We've really enjoyed learning a lot more about this. And, this is just a great thing you do. And not only the services, but training others to be able to be self-sufficient and sustain themselves. And that's a wonderful gift.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I appreciate being on too. I'm glad I got the guts to get on and get let people know what we do here, for the benefit of all the clients and the students that are learning this. So thank you so much for having me
You're welcome. You're welcome, and we appreciate you, and thank you. Just I can't say that enough, because I was really touched, and I know the audience is going to be touched when they see more pictures and they hear the results.
Yeah, there's many stories. There's many, many stories. But thank you so much, Rebecca, and talk to you soon.
All right. You have a wonderful day. And we're so glad we had you on the Mental Margarita show. All the best. And we'll be in touch with you again and get any updates, some new stuff happening. So
Sounds good to me. Okay.
you folks, you got something you don't like, you go see Mona Lisa and she can help you out and help you be on the way to feeling better. So we thank you, and we'll chat with you again soon. Feel good with a Philly cheesesteak from Pop's Philly Steaks. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Located on the southeast corner of Decatur and Alta. To view our menu, visit popscheesesteaks.com. Did you know March 24th is National Cheesesteak Day at Pop's? Come celebrate with us and get your Philly cheesesteak fix. And we cater. Don't feel like driving? Get Pop's delivered with Postmates, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. And Pops loves the Mental Margarita Show. Mention the Mental Margarita Show at the order window and receive a free side of fries with any purchase. Wow! See you at Pops!
Starstruck, here's a sprinkle of the stardust. Hold your champagne glass and your cigars up. See the guys with mob ties drive the cars up. Bright lights, most nights they buy the bars up. Candy coated Chevy cars on the highway. It's Frankie baby, it's on and this is my way. Dean Martin at the Sands this Friday. With Sammy Davis, here's a little hint where I stay. The city shines like Liberace's mansion. And you know Elvis had the whole city dancing. Showgirl silhouette steady prancing. Shout out to June, just the Copa Girls anthem. Legal gambling, yeah, that would tempt me. It's Sin City, holy water couldn't cleanse me. And Wayne Newton had the crowd in a frenzy. Live at the Stardust, the seats never empty. Now if you having a good time in Las Vegas, at the count of 3, I want